Today we're addressing the recent rant by FightinCuckboy, who I otherwise call FightinCuckboy, in which he goes into an anti-white, racist, hate-filled tirade full of lies, bigotry, and deception. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Fox with RealMarcFoxx, and this is your home for rational, reasonable, real gamers.
I've been trying to control myself, trying to be professional about this, but at a certain point, I'm just really getting pissed.
FightinCuckboy is an online streamer, primarily on Twitch, but also present here on YouTube, and recently he live streamed the game Assassin's Creed Shadows, or as I like to call it, Diversity's Creed Shit Show. In his tirade, he managed to hit on several propaganda points using woke, anti-white, leftist buzzwords like inclusivity, diversity, melting pot, and all sorts of other crap. We're going to hit on a few of the major points here, and I'm going to show you why FightinCuckboy is not only a liar, but an anti-white and a woke leftist shill, spreading propaganda and hate.
Assassin's Creed has always been historical fiction, okay?
Wow, look how quickly we shifted from Ubisoft's original position of historically accurate to suddenly it's now all historical fiction. Suddenly we've gone to the historically accurate Black Samurai Yasuke to, well, maybe it's just fiction. And he even says in his video, it doesn't even matter if Yasuke was a samurai. But I remember when all the woke lefties were arguing hardcore about how important it was to stress the fact that he was. And then when history came along and started pointing out some of these inaccuracies and showed them with no doubt whatsoever that there's zero proof he was a samurai and all sorts of reasons to believe he wasn't, well, suddenly it became historical fiction and it doesn't matter. It doesn't take FightinCuckboy long before he goes to the standard trope that leftists love to use. It's the common slur. It is an anti-white racial slur for sure, and that is, of course,
Racist. Outright racism.
he also claims that there are many people upset about a black guy in Japan, but that's not quite the full story. You see, people are upset that instead of choosing one of a plethora of Japanese characters they could have chosen from real history that's actually accurate, based in documentation, or a host of characters they could have created for this Japanese setting, instead they said, who should be one of the two main characters in this Japanese setting game? Why not a black guy?
And then, of course, your typical grifters, they like to make up bullshit. You know, oh, woke leftist cowboy is, I don't know, shilling for Ubisoft and blah, blah, blah.
Then at about 3 minutes in, he knows what we're going to accuse him of because it's actually true, that he's a woke leftist, and he says it himself, as if referring to yourself as what you are somehow negates what you are. If I referred to myself jokingly and disparagingly, trying to insult others as, oh, the anti-woke gamer, RealMarcFoxx, that wouldn't change the fact that I am, in fact, an anti-woke gamer. That's true.
They're all little, you know, weak-willed men that like to hide behind avatars or made-up names.
He then calls everyone who doesn't agree with him weak-willed men behind made-up names. Of course, he goes by the online handle FightinCuckboy, and if that's not a made-up name, then he wants us to believe that not only is his last name Cowboy, but his parents named him Fighting? I doubt it. So here's a guy using a made-up online name, accusing other guys of being weak because they use made-up online names. Hypocrisy much?
I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym. They probably don't work out.
Then he insults men claiming that they need to get to the gym like him and shows off his guns, except apparently he's going for the bear look. Because I'll tell you right now, it's obvious he lifts weights, he's got some muscle on him, but it's hard to actually see any muscle definition through all that fat, because he's got a whole bunch of fat on top of his muscles, kind of the bear look or the strong man look. And although he may be a strong man, it goes to show that if you don't dial in your diet, particularly with things like beer and alcohol, well, you're going to have a lot of fat on top of those muscles. Not the best look, FightinCuckboy. Dial in your diet, Cuck.
Stellar Blade drama. Because there was a titty window added. Oh, they're censoring. They're taking away the gooning.
He then goes to talk about how there's drama and controversy about every game that ever comes out, coming from, of course, the straight white Christian right-wingers out there, right? The anti-woke. And he refers to Stellar Blade, in which gamers were rightfully upset that they were told the game would not be censored. The game's official full disc release contained certain outfits that, after the first initial patch, were censored, covered up. I mean, that's what censorship is when it comes to clothing. If you take a woman who's wearing a skimpy outfit and then you cover it up, that's censorship. There's no other way to see that. That is censorship. It is one of the clear definitions of censorship. That is something the Middle East would do. Like when, for example, they would blur out the hair of female politicians that would visit Saudi Arabia to make sure that they didn't see a woman's hair uncovered. That's censorship. Trying to come up with other terms for is just dishonesty. So yes, gamers were rightfully upset that they were lied to by the developer, told there would be no censorship, and then there was. He conveniently left that fact out. He also refers to gamers being upset that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had a gay scene in it. He claims there's one, but to my understanding, there are two. And one of the main problems with this is that the developer of the game himself, Daniel Vavra, specifically stated that Henry is a straight white Christian male. And then he later does a turnabout, complete 180, and decides, oh no, it's actually a role-playing game, and you can make Henry whatever you want.
You control the buttons you press.
You know what? You control the game you develop. That's the real issue here. Not the buttons we're pressing, the game you're developing. Because we can't press enough buttons to outdo bad development. We can't press enough buttons to outdo a complete betrayal of established canon for a character that you, Daniel Vavra, said yourself. But this is really about FightinCuckboy. And once again, we're catching him in more lies. Either lies of omission, failing to state necessary and pertinent facts about the issue so as to mislead his viewers, or lies of commission, in which he states things that are outright false, and we're about to get to one.
And now people are upset about shadows because there's gay stuff and a black guy.
He then says that gamers are upset that Assassin's Creed Shadows has a black character who can be gay, and of course, that makes sense because we were originally promised a certain degree of historical accuracy, and no, you're not going to have gay characters all over the place. You're not going to have all the characters just decide to be gay or straight or trans or whatever other nonsense, non-binary. Non-binary wasn't even a concept in Japan at this time. It didn't exist. These are things that pull you out of the experience with modern day California woke bullshit, and it doesn't belong in, I believe, any game at all, much less a supposedly historically accurate game about feudal Japan.
Like, yo, did you hear about the Stellar Blade drama? Did you hear about the Assassin's Creed drama? And most of them are gonna be like, what are you talking about? Is the game, is it bad? And you're like, no, there's a black samurai and you can bang Nobunaga's sister.
He then goes on to complain that people who aren't in this community don't even know about any of this drama because they don't care, because they're normal people, and normal people don't care about this. Well, let me tell you something, FightinCuckboy. You're basically saying that people that aren't in this community don't know about things about this community. So non-gamers don't know about this video game. Okay. And, I mean, if you don't ride a motorcycle, if you don't know anything about motorcycles, am I going to defend some bad practice from a motorcycle dealership or manufacturer and saying, well, you know, people who don't ride motorcycles don't even know about this problem? That's a very stupid argument, FightinCuckboy. Are you stupid? Because that's a stupid argument. And I'm surprised you made it. Maybe you weren't thinking, you were just talking off the cuff, but go back, listen to yourself, and see how dumb you sound.
Normal people don't get upset about this shit. Okay? This is a manufactured issue in the online space by grifters.
He then goes on, of course, to use the common woke generic insult, which lacks any meaningful definition.
Grifter.
Anyone who disagrees with the woke and is making any amount of money, sometimes no money at all, is a grifter. I've been called a grifter for posts I make on X, even though my X is not monetized. I don't make any money from it. I pay the subscription for X. I lose money on X, and yet I'm a grifter, and I don't make any money. Grifter doesn't have a meaning anymore because people just use it willy-nilly at anyone they don't like who they think is making money, having any opinion whatsoever, as long as it differs from theirs. I challenge you, FightinCuckboy, to give us a universal, generic definition of grifter that we can apply to anyone of any political persuasion. Give me that definition.
Now, I'm doing this. I'm trying to present an olive branch.
Then he goes on to claim that he's extending an olive branch. Well, FightinCuckboy, let me tell you how you don't extend an olive branch. Calling people weak-willed, insulting them, calling them racists, implying that they're dishonest, calling them grifters. That's not how you extend an olive branch. I am not extending an olive branch to you. I'm calling you out for your anti-whiteism, your stupidity, and your hate, as well as your lies in this video, targeting straight white males, which we're about to get to. He then, again, bitches about people profiting off the outrage, and yet here's him posting an outrage video where he profits from his online platform. Hypocrisy. Then at about the 7-minute mark, he goes into this list of left-wing lunatic woke buzzwords: inclusivity, diversity, representation. Woke buzzwords. They are all ultimately anti-white, anti-male, and anti-straight. These are concepts of hatred towards straight white men, and he knows that because he starts trying to call out the straight white men in his audience. He continues with a lie that America was built on diversity, and America is a melting pot. The melting pot concept is fairly recent and came about from a left-wing propagandist who was pushing their propaganda onto society. It's something we continue to parrot as if it's truth, and it's not. And at about the 8-minute and 45-second mark, we get to the crux of the issue. This is where FightinCuckboy shows his true colors as an anti-white, as an anti-male, and as an anti-straight person. He hates straight white males. He even says straight white Christian male, although I think we can all be relatively sure he's not any degree of Christian. And he goes on this long tirade about how this is all a bunch of straight white men, possibly Christian, who just are angry that there are characters who aren't straight white men. And the ultimate lie here that I've been referring to since the beginning of this video is right here. Nobody that I've seen, nobody, zero, none, not one. You could probably point one out for me if you can find one. I haven't found one. Not one gamer anywhere complaining that Yasuke isn't a white male. Not one gamer complaining anywhere that what's the female character's name? I already forgot it. Naoe. That Naoe isn't a white male. The complaint is that Yasuke is not an authentic to setting Japanese person. I have heard very little complaining about Naoe. I don't know if anybody's complaining that she's a woman. I haven't seen it. There's probably someone out there. The complaint about Yasuke is not about him not being white. It's about him not being Japanese, FightinCuckboy. You idiot. You know this. You are blatantly lying to your audience because you are pushing propaganda, left-wing hatred, and anti-whiteism. It's disgusting, it's despicable, it's dishonest, and you know that. And I'm calling you out for it. I'm not asking you to apologize, because I don't demand people apologize. I'm asking you to come out and tell the truth, that you lied, that no one's complaining about Yasuke not being white. It's about Yasuke not being Japanese. You know that, I know that. Everyone watching this video knows that. So everyone watching this video right now knows that you are a bold-faced liar. And I'm going to say that directly to you to the best of my ability. If you want me to come on your live stream, I'll do it. You'll come on one of my live streams. I'll have you over. Anytime that you want that I'm available, of course, I got to be available. I will call you a bold-faced liar to your face. I will point out the facts, and you will be exposed. That's why you won't take me up on this offer, because you know you're a liar, I know it, and everyone watching knows. We could go on with the rest of Fighting Cuckboy's video, but it's just more lies, woke, left-wing, radical extremist propaganda, and nobody wants that. That's nonsense. That's garbage. This woke nonsense just turns people into useful idiots for government corruption, dishonesty, more control. No normal, healthy human being should ever be woke. Woke people are massively mentally ill at a higher rate than any other. The more left-wing a person is, the more likely it is they have a mental illness. Because this sort of leftism, this woke leftism, is mental illness. In Fighting Cuckboy, if you're not mentally ill, then you're a blatantly dishonest, intentionally dishonest liar and a fraud. And you can take that to the bank, Fighting Cuckboy. So, from the bottom of my heart, as a white man, as a straight white man, to you, the anti-white, the hater, let me send you a clear message. Fighting Cuckboy, fuck you. To everyone else watching, thank you for joining me. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Subscribe, consider joining the channel, leave a comment down below. Thank you for joining me so much. I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.